All right. Should be live here now. Sorry about the delay there. Had to take care of something. Really just had to shit bad. The hell is it? Monday Night Football broadcast. All right. So it's 4th and 1. All right, let me get my playback up. Oh, notification. That's cool. Oh, they got a first and oh no, never mind. All right, this is way behind. Let's see. Damn, those are all really behind. Yeesh. And it'll be down at about the 18. Seahawks take over. They have a 7-0 lead. They have the ball now. There we go. Ooh, one whole like. That's pretty good. Make sure you guys drop some likes. Help the stream out. We could definitely use them to get going here. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 18 coming up. Brutally slow. All right, game 2. 2:26 to go in the first. Seattle has the ball. They have the lead. We'll see if they can expand it here. Obviously, the winner of this game wins the NFC West and the number 1 seed in the NFC. What up? So, quite a big game. A lot riding on it, you could say. But make sure you guys leave some likes. We have 2 right now, which is pretty good. Appreciate it to the one other person who's left a like. Basically just me so far. Either way, game's starting up. Or, well, the commercial should end pretty soon here. At least hopefully, right? Allstate. You're in good hands. Sure. But yeah, make sure you guys drop some likes. Help the stream out. Get some people in here. It'd be appreciated. Help us out a ton. I think we have 1 or 2 likes right now, which is pretty good. Still on commercial break, though. Hopefully it's about to start. Yeah, there we go. Kind of. What do you mean nothing? Oh, what's in your wallet? You said nothing. Broke, yeah, boy. I got 20 racks in my wallet right now. I could show you, but I'm not going to. 1st and 10 at the 18 coming up. Seattle in the I formation. Kind of. They put a man in motion. It's always more like a T to me, but. And Walker gets a first down a little bit more, and he's all the way out for about a 20-yard pickup there on first down. 1st and 10 out to the 38. Big run. Good way to kick off a drive. Make sure you leave some likes on the stream. We're still at 2. Appreciate that to the one other person, again, who's left a like. Who's the other person? Kevin? The rest of you are non-likers confirmed. Officially gay. Sorry to be the one to bear bad news on that. See, Kevin, you're the only person here who's an alpha male straight man. True American patriot. The rest of these people are crying over a dictator being arrested. Second and 9. Gained about a yard on that last play. So I can't press like. They're like, I can't. And that'll be a first down out to the San Francisco 49. The Seahawks completed out to Smith and Jigba. Seahawks are moving. They seem pretty focused here in the first half of this game. Dialed right in. Looking like another run plays coming here. Kind of an I formation with Charbonnet in the backfield. I like how you can tell who's the running back because one has lighter skin than Kenneth Walker has pretty dark skin compared to Charbonnet, who I can't tell if he's white or just really light skinned. It's one of the two. You're good. There's no one at this stream tonight. 2nd and 10. Hopefully it picks up, though. Flag on the play, and it'll end the first quarter. False start on the offense. So it'll be 2nd and 15 when the second quarter gets going. So, end of the first. Seahawks lead 7-0. They're driving pretty effectively, but that 5 yards sends them back to the Seattle 46. 2nd and 15 coming on up. I think the Seahawks are trying to argue that they didn't false start. The quarter ended, and that's why they moved. I think that's the claim being made. Why the Seahawks were arguing there. Either way, second quarter coming up. Seattle has it at their own 46 after the penalty. They move back beyond midfield. Beyond. Probably should have used behind. Either way, commercial break. Dun, 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 dun. Ugh. Yeah, very good chats here. Very good conversation. Appreciate you letting me know what the woe was about. I don't think this is going to be a very long stream. Either way, commercial break. Well, I don't think anyone's showing up and nobody's talking. I don't think anyone cares for this game. Or everyone got streamed out because of the first game. Yeah, he's fine. He just said, whoa. I think he died, actually. And now Fernando's a ghost, which is pretty cool. Either way, 2nd and 15 coming up. You think it'll be a pick? Probably not. Yeah, sometimes Fernando just says things. I don't think there's any correlation. And that'll be another catch by Smith and Jigba, who breaks a couple tackles, makes a few guys miss, and he's gone. I think they're going to say he stepped out of bounds. Well, he either scored or he stepped out. Oh, yeah, he's out. Okay, he's out right there. At about the 30, I don't know where that is on the field, to be honest. Are they going to actually show the fucking game or just bullshit-ass highlights? Ugh. I hate that the fucking... There we go. They're at the 37. And they'll run ahead and get a first down to about the 26. Good run by Charbonnet. Who's 6 or 7? Oh, shit, he is. Yeah, Darnold, 6 for 7. 41 yards. Good numbers. Rolls out. Darnold looking. Throws, and he just threw it away. 69 rushing yards, 21 career rushing touchdowns. Hell yeah. Meme machine Sam Darnold. Is Darnold meme Jesus? Hopefully not. 2nd and 10. Ball's at the 31, or the 26, sorry. And Kenneth Walker gets wrapped up at around the 30-yard line. That'll be a loss there. It'll be like 3rd and 15, 3rd and 14 coming up at the San Fran 30. It would appear these black jerseys so far are cursed for the 49ers. Purdy warming up. They may have to put Mack in this game if they want to win. And they go with the screen pass on 3rd and super long, and he gets basically back to the line of scrimmage. 4th and 13 at the 29. They'll have to punt here, or kick a field goal anyway. And they missed. That'd be funny. Anyway, 4th down. I doubt they're going to miss. Well, they got Myers, one of the more dependable kickers in the league. At least he used to be. Should still be. 12:34 to play here in the second. 12:34 in the first half. Here's the kick. It is no good. He missed. Wow. Well, that's shitty luck. Hopefully that don't come back to bite him. Usually one of the more sure-footed kickers in the league, too. Damn, now the 49ers going to win this game. They're just going to start scoring at will. Well, 7-0, 49ers will take over at their own 29. 1st and 10 at the 29 for the 49ers after a commercial break. Fernando, do you think you could tackle Derrick Henry? I think I could. I think I could get in there. Hit a real nice hit stick. No, it's just for the love of the game. If you can tackle him, you get to play at whatever D1 college you want. So you can make more than $1 million really through NIL. Think you could do it? Fernando just runs and jumps at him. Yeah, I just did normal backgrounds for the Patriots Dolphins. It'll just be their green and blue. See, the Buccaneers beat the Carolina Panthers, but what did we? No, NFC South champion is not crowned. The Bucs will win the division if the Saints beat the Falcons. If the Falcons win, the Panthers win the division. Very funny way that the NFC South is going to conclude this year. We have 4 legs right now. That's pretty not great. But hey, if you guys haven't left one yet, I'd consider doing it. It'd be cool. It'd be helping out the stream, getting some more people in here, which would be really helpful. I'd appreciate it. Thank you to those who have. Good looking out. 1st and 10 coming up. Game's back on. So the Bucs beat the... Yeah, I already read that. Already read that. Don't need to rehash it. About a 6-yard pickup, 2nd down and 4. Did you actually bet, or are you just saying that that's who's going to win to you? 2nd and 4, they toss it out to Christian McCaffrey, it looks like, and they'll get a 1st down to the Seattle 48. Because I've got the Niners winning the game. I don't have any money on it. They're the team I thought would win. No, I don't gamble. First and 10, they don't get anything. They lose a yard. 2nd and 11. I got 7 homes, Fernando, in reality. I just want the Seahawks to win over the 49ers tonight. Okay, gotcha. 2nd and 11. And the 49ers force that out. I think there is an injured player, that's Jennings, down on the field. Looks like he got up pretty quick, though, so I think he's all right. But he's going to have to come off the field, though. Hopefully they don't make us do a whole-ass injury timeout right now and really go to a commercial break. For no fucking reason. And that'll be stopped just short of the 1st after a nice scramble by Brock. 4th and 1 at the Seattle 39. They're probably going to go for it here. Can't imagine they don't. Go to be aggressive. Exactly, Joel. That's my thoughts. I go for it auto on the play like this. . 49ers took timeout apparently. Shanahan must not like what he saw. Oh, I guess Seattle took a timeout. Never mind. Seattle must not like what they saw. I just thought because it was that. Oh, he actually threw a challenge flag. To be fair, that's kind of a late flag. I think the ball was already snapped. I feel like he shouldn't be allowed to challenge the spot here. Oh, okay. Oh, there is. Okay, there isn't a challenge. Never mind. 4th and 1. He meant to call a timeout. Okay. I was going to say, what the fuck? He can't challenge that play. The ball got snapped, basically. Now he's going to be like, oh, I actually called a timeout so I could challenge it. I hate shit like that. Why would they throw it and not just hand it to CMC? Incomplete. Both teams give the ball back deep in each other's territory. Neither walk away with points. It'll be 7-0 to the Seahawks' advantage. Seahawks take back over at around their own 35, 38-yard line. I forgot exactly where they were. Like the 38. 1st and 10 for Seattle coming up. 9:35 to play here in the second. 9:35 in the first half remains. It's 7-0 Seattle. 1st and 10 at the Seattle 39. Ooh, that's better field position than I thought. I mean, I'd have made the kick, personally. Remember that one day, Fernando, on stream where I was kicking like 80, 90-yard field goals, and you guys were like, you should try out for the NFL. And I said, I am playing for that woke league. And everybody was really stoked for me when I said that. You were there. You watched some field goals. You were like, dang, he could really kick them. I did a backflip kick for a few of them. Like where I just do a standing still backflip and kick the ball like 80 yards through the uprights. Pretty crazy skills I have as a kicker, but I refuse to play for the NFL. Yeah, I don't know why they just don't run the ball there. That was a really dumb call. Fucking, he still has to figure it out just to run the football sometimes, Kyle. He thinks I think he was like, everyone's going to be expecting me to run it. But it's like, Kyle, you're so predictable at this point. Everybody knows to play the pass on a situation like that. Well, if I kick the ball backwards, how would it go into the upright? It would go backwards. I'm not a magician, Kevin. I can't curve the ball like they do in The Matrix. That's a movie. Mike Vrabel. Shanahan has something that looks rather like rich kid about him. Like you can tell he grew up with a lot of money. Or at least in the lap of luxury. You know what I mean? Vrabel looks like he grew up and his dad might have worked in factories or some shit like that. I mean, his dad is Mike Shanahan, Fernando. And I'm sure Mike Shanahan had a pretty good life or a pretty luxurious lifestyle when young Kyle was growing up, and his dad was um, making a dynasty in Denver. Probably grew up pretty nice. Yeah, I mean it's fine. Yeah, and then you look at like Mike Vrabel, whose parents were probably like school teachers or something. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, Mike Vrabel looks more just like a random middle class guy. He dresses really nice, but that's because he's got a lot of money. He might. I don't know how much money Vrabel has. He might be bad with his money. Gym health teacher and a basketball coach. He also served as high school principal. I nailed that. Yeah, so when I said his parents were probably teachers, I was like, nah, that's pretty good. Second and 8. Seahawks go the handoff here. It looks like Kenneth Walker, and he fights ahead and picks up 4. Third and 4 at the 36. You know, when JMO caught a touchdown against the Lions fans should have realized right then and there that they weren't going to make the playoffs. They should have went, yeah, you know, even if we win this game, season's over. As soon as Derek Barnes couldn't make an open field tackle on a quarterback, Lions fans just should have went, better luck next year. Not even trying to be rude or disrespectful, just being honest. Darnold's going to have to run out of there. And I don't know what that was, but he got a first down. First and 10 to the 31 for the Seahawks. Darnold like ran forward and then threw himself into the feet of the defender. Looks like there's an injured player on the field. Don't know who it is. I think it's Darnold. He's dead. No, Winters for the 49ers was injured on the play. Hopefully he's all right. That would be pretty crazy if it was just like player dead. Was it D Waters was injured or somebody was injured during the play and it's just death or killed during the play? It's like, what? Yeah, that's like an old fact. Because Bo Jackson wasn't able to play. Dun-dun-dun-dun. What's up, Fernando? Man, this game feels like it already has more commercials than the game earlier. That's good. I'm glad that did that for you. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 31 coming up once they are back from injury. Seahawks looking to take a 14-0 or a 10-0 or a 13-0 lead here in the next few plays. Nick Bosa just looking depressed. Gain of about 6 by Walker. 2nd and 4 coming up. Dun 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 na 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 na. Build up with iron bricks, iron bricks, iron bricks. They're gonna hand it off. There's a flag thrown though. Probably gonna be holding. Guessing it'll be 2nd and 14 coming up. Yeah, holding. Offense. Replay, 2nd down. Or is it 1st down now? Second and 11. Sorry, I guess it must have been a 9-yard carry or something. It must have been 2nd and 1 on the previous play. Gain of about 5. It'll be 3rd and 6. Why did they get such a weird safety? Why was that so oddly called? Yeah, it feels like it. The other game just zipped by. And that was only a fucking, what was it, 16, 20 to 16 or some shit? 16 to 13. Yeah, maybe the NFL was right to not put this on prime on to close the season out. And they take a shot. It's incomplete. They'll probably try to kick a field goal here to go up 10-0. I got it. Yeah, that's basically how that went. Either way, they'll try out the field goal. Maybe Myers will make this one. Excuse me. Kick is up, and that one's actually good. So it'll be dun 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 dun. 10-0. 5:19 to go here in the second. Damn, this stream is going nowhere for everybody. What up, Van? For sure. Sorry to hear that, man. Hopefully you feel better. Everyone's kind of getting sick. We'll see, Fernando. No matter what, I'll stream through the third quarter, Fernando. I don't know about doing the whole game at this kind of audience rate. We'll see, though. It's not like it's killing me or anything. I prepared to do the whole game, but kind of a dead stream. Earlier stream was doing pretty good comparatively. We'll see, though. Hopefully it picks up. Never know. Not too pressed. You have the flu, yeah. That sucks. But yeah, everyone's Seems like it's going around pretty hardcore right now. I don't know why I've avoided it, but, well, to be fair, I don't get the flu. I'll get a common cold once or twice a year, but the actual flu is, my body's impervious to it. For a lot of those things, I'm what you would call a non-symptomatic carrier or asymptomatic carrier of viruses, a lot of viruses. It's actually more of a curse because I just carry the flu around and dispense it around at people. Because I'll be around someone who gets the flu, and then everyone I get into contact with for about a week gets the flu. It's like I first really noticed it when I was smoking weed with people. Oh yeah, I'm typhoid Rob. Yeah, I'd be the motherfucker they'd have to put on an island because I'm just immune to typhoid. Like, I'm probably immune to it, and I'd probably just spread that shit like a plague, dude. You'd rather beat the Bears and get the better draft pick? That's fair, Kevin. You can want to win. Lions are going to play to win, so. Yeah, they finally started winning. Yeah, they got to move on, but I've heard that they don't really plan on firing Bulls this offseason. That's a huge backwards play by Seattle to start off the drive. It'll be 2nd and 16. Yeesh. The Browns are talking about, they're like, we're either going to fire Stefanski or someone can trade for him. Fair enough, Kevin. Fair enough. I think that's a normal thing to want. Or anyone want to trade for Stefanski, a guy who hates half his team openly? What a dumbass, dude. Yeah, he openly hates one of his players, dog. It's like, you can't be a head coach and just like hate players on your roster, dog. That's like retarded. And not play them because you dislike them. It's like, that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. How is he a coach of the year over Dan Campbell? Twice. Ugh. Shadur has done everything to show respect. And yeah, Stefanski doesn't like him. Well, it's not really the league's fault that you guys get injured all the time because your head coach practices with fucking full pads and goes full speed in practice. That's not really. The league should actually step in and stop him from doing that. And I think you guys would improve dramatically because your team would stop getting banged up. Kevin, that's the only solution I can think of as to why your team gets hurt the way it does. And I know how your team practices because the players all talk about how strange it is. about how it's weird they practice in full pads and go full speed and hit and practice. It's like, yeah, you probably got to stop doing that. I bet you that improves a lot of the health of the team. 2-minute warning coming up. Are they going to hike it? No, okay. 2-minute warning. Again, Kevin, the league clearly doesn't like you guys, or at least like the referees don't. I'm pretty sure the league likes you guys. You guys are a views magnet now, merch selling magnet. The league probably likes you guys just fine. I think what is the referees, but also the current iteration of your football team has the wildest reputation I've ever seen. You guys are viewed as a dirty hit factory team, a very undisciplined team. And that sucks. Like, that's part of the reason why you guys kind of get hosed on penalty flags. You get no benefit of the doubt because of that. But yeah, the refs clearly don't like your team, though. I don't know what that's about. I don't know. I think the team has to look within and kind of fix a few of the random issues that I think are related to why players get hurt all the time there. There has to be more than a reason of just bad luck. Like, sure. For 2 seasons in a row, I don't think so. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I just find the blaming the refs thing for all your team's problems to be really tired and old. Like, yep, the only reason you guys aren't division winners and undefeated Super Bowl champions for 4 straight years now is the refs. That's all. Like, that's how I feel like Lions fans, they can't. I don't. It's again, Kevin, I'm not saying you specifically, but a large part of Lions fans believes that if the refs called things evenly, they would be like an undefeated dynasty, I feel like. I've watched the Packers get hoed by the refs all year. Literally all year long, the Packers they're like 9-7. Doesn't really indicate a team that's favored by the officials. And I'm sure Venn is sitting here going, "The fuck is he talking about? Favored by the officials?" I think that literally only happens when they play Detroit. And again, I don't know if it's a really. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of just continually blaming all your team's losses on refs and being disliked by the league. It's like, no, I mean, it's deeper than that. The team doesn't have a secondary. The offensive line is bad. Like, that's why they're not good and why they lost this year. It has nothing to do with the refs. What's up? What's up, DJ? Yeah, but like more than the bad calls killed you in those games, your bad defense killed you in those games. Or your bad offense against the Vikings. I mean, there's really no evidence. In fact, all evidence would point that the NFL is not rigged because there would be dramatically different results happening if the league was rigged. Number one, first point in that would be the Kansas City Chiefs would never have become a dynasty. They'd have put Mahomes on the Jets or some shit like that. Yeah, I mean, you guys, your defense was perfect. Your offense was perfect. It was just the officials that lost that game. Had nothing to do with the other team playing better than your team. I don't know. It's like Lions fans trying to say the refs fucked them in that game against the Steelers. It's like, I don't know. Amon-Ra did push off. That was PI at the end of the game. Like, yeah, that's tough. That's just how the rules worked. Yeah, the game was over. That's tough. That's the rules. And the Lions fans go, we got fucked. It's like, no, that's the NFL rule for how that works. Like, I don't know. It's like, I get it. The refs make bad calls against everybody's team. And the 49ers will take a field goal here. They're going to march the field goal unit out on 4th and 3. Minute 10 to go. The 49ers have 3 timeouts. The Seahawks have none. But they'll have like a minute to work with. I don't know. I don't think the league's rigged. DJ, to go back to your point really fast. What's up, Jonathan? Yeah, they were inconsistent because a lot of injuries, because the team practices way too hard. They need to scale it back a little bit as far as the physicality in practice goes. I guarantee you that is 90% of that team's problem. Once they stop doing that, I bet you the health issues just go away. Because again, they're like the only team, they're one of the few teams that I've ever seen with a problem this bad of injuries other than the San Francisco 49ers. Maybe they just have bad luck. In 3 straight years? Seems a little unlikely, but you know. It kind of indicates that back-to-back years of major injury problems is more of a something they got to look at within. Hopefully they do, and realize fucking practicing the way they do is killing their team. Because you always see like a Lions player get hurt on like a Wednesday. They'll like be hurt all of a sudden on Wednesday or Thursday morning, and it's like, where the fuck did that come from? Tell me I'm wrong about that one. I've never seen a team get more random out of nowhere injuries in the middle of the week. I swear Laporta was perfectly fine in that game. And then like practice happened. And then all of a sudden, like Thursday, he was gone for the year. It's like, what the fuck happened? I thought he just had like a back problem. Like it wasn't like the MRIs were good. I thought he was all good. And then like 3 days into the week, half the teams, like half the few more guys are going to IR. It's like, when did they get hurt? The score could be 16-6 if every drive they took 3. That's true. First and 10 for the Seahawks at about the 35. I think Decker just got hurt because he's old and just has wear and tear. To be fair on Decker, I think he's just aware. I think he was probably just, you know, certain positioning groups. I think linemen just eventually get hurt. There's really no way for them to practice. Yeah, I think Decker's just older, and that's a little different. They sacked the shit out of fucking Darnold right there. Sheesh. 49ers get the ball first. That's why they're not calling time. Or get the ball at the half. Yeah, Lions will be fine. They just they got to fix a few things up and have a good offseason. They typically do have good off seasons. And they got to figure out the offensive play caller situation. And they get a completion. Yeah, this is just going to go to halftime. Halftime. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. 10-3. Seattle or San Francisco will get the ball at the half. It is 10-3. Seattle leads at the half. Oh, now it's halftime. I guess they were looking like they were going to try to do something. I don't know what they were going to try to do. If anything, Decker will probably just retire in the offseason. I think Ragnow will be back next season for the Lions, so that'll be a big help. So long as he recovers enough to come back from his, what was it, a grade 3 hamstring tear? Hey, we have 9 likes already, too. We're almost at double digits. Look at that. Stream picked up a little bit. Ben, can you believe it? Drake May win the MVP. It's starting to come down to there may not be a better argument for who should win it. It's like, oh, Stafford threw 10 more touchdowns, or 8 more touchdown passes than May did. And he finished third place. He should definitely win MVP because of that. I mean, dude, he's only throwing to Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. Who are them losers? I mean, May has 33 post-year-old post-ACL Diggs and Hunter Henry, dude. 2 of the greatest receivers in league history. If Stafford had those guys, he'd be putting up 5, 6, 7,000 yard season with 90 touchdowns. Let's not even talk about the run game. Stafford, he's got shitty Kyron Williams. May has fumble the ball Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson, a rookie. I mean, Henderson's got a few big runs this year, and Kyron, he's a piece of shit. Rams fans trying to pretend their team sucks with their fucking third-ranked DVOA defense. Meaning Stafford can just make horrific mistakes in most of and he's mostly good to go. Meanwhile, the Patriots have the 25th ranked DVOA defense. Meaning that May has to almost play every game perfect to win. I don't know. Whatever you want to consider. I don't know. We don't have to talk about MVP. We all know who should win MVP, but we don't have to talk about it. But he plays easy schedule, though. Yeah, so. I don't give a shit. It's the dumbest argument I still think I've ever heard. Dude, they only play easy teams, dude. Yeah, that's not a stipulation to win MVP, actually. Yeah, it feels like they are to some extent, but I don't know. I don't really see it. Game feels pretty evenly called. Have they called any real penalties in this game that have impacted anything? I'm trying to think. I genuinely can't remember if they have. I could be entirely wrong on that, but it feels like it's been just pretty swallowed whistle kind of game. Even if May doesn't wind up winning MVP, which would be crazy because he accounts for 74% of the Patriots' offense, which is the most a single player on any team in the NFL counts for offense for their team. Even more than Jonathan Taylor, he accounts for his team's offense, which doesn't even feel possible, does it? I don't know. But again, I raised a fair question of if strength of schedule is an important MVP statistic, has it ever actually, can you find an example of someone who didn't or did win MVP because of their strength of schedule? Because I don't think that exists. That's not a real qualification to win MVP. I don't think it ever has been, nor do I think it ever will be. Yeah. Genuinely, have we ever seen it before? I also think you should look up the year Cam Newton won the MVP and what his schedule looked like. I think it was a 400 winning percentage at the end of the season. So when you consider all of that, it's there seems to be more evidence that it doesn't matter who you play. It matters how you play them. And that's correct. Strength of schedule is, once again, the most relevant argument until discussing a team after the season is done. Because again, what happens if the Patriots go and they win at least a singular playoff game? Then it's like, well, then, shit, they kind of were just a good team. And their easy schedule doesn't matter. Now, if the Patriots go out there and get boat raced by the 7th seed, it's like, oh, yeah, okay, schedule merchants. But you genuinely have no idea if that's true or not until January 10th, roughly. Like, how do you know? What if they go and what if they win the Super Bowl? Did they only win the Super Bowl because of their easy schedule in the playoffs? No. The same dumb argument. By the way, the strength of schedule thing disappeared for a very long time in football. I've only ever seen this argument used on one other team in all of NFL history. Do you want to know what team I saw the strength of schedule and easy schedule be used against in my entire football watching life? And then it disappeared. And now it's back. From like 2005, 2004-ish to about 2019, the biggest knock against the New England Patriots was that they benefited from playing an easy schedule every year. So, isn't it very funny that now that the Patriots are good again, you know what? They broke right back out. They're only good because of the easy schedule. Have you ever heard so much talk about strength of schedule in this year? You've probably heard more about strength of schedule and strength of victory and everything than you've probably ever heard in your entire life about a singular team in the last 5 years. I guarantee you go ahead and think. A lot of teams that looked like schedule merchants all kind of collapsed midway through the season most of the time. You know one thing nobody talked about last year? The ridiculously easy schedule that allowed Minnesota to go 14-3. Not one word about it. You know what's crazy? No one ever talked about how Peyton Manning played the Tennessee Titans twice a year, the Jacksonville Jaguars twice a year, and lost one of those games usually. And then yeah, I mean they didn't score the points though. Again, the league isn't really rigged. The results of the league wouldn't be what they are if the league was rigged. I promise you that. Like, a really good example of how you can tell the league isn't rigged is because no industry or no self-respecting entertainment product. The NFL, you seem to be suggesting the NFL is super rigged. And scripted and all that shit. Why in God's green earth would they put one of their premier dynasties in Kansas City, Missouri? I ask you that. Why the hell? Like, you can make the argument that the New England dynasty, it's like, well, it's an East Coast thing. Like, okay, sure. Why the fuck would they script it for the Kansas City Chiefs in Missouri to be the best team in football for a half decade? Why hasn't the league rigged it for one of the New York teams to be like a dynasty in our entire, like, ever for the NFL? Like, literally ever. How come Chicago has one Super Bowl win? Also, how come Aaron Rodgers won one singular Super Bowl and only went to one in his entire illustrious career? If you were rigging things, Aaron Rodgers was one of the most beloved players in this league for like a decade. One of the most like hyped up players, one of the most beloved media players, beloved by the league, was the face of the league over Tom Brady. But he got one Super Bowl. If the NFL is rigged, why did Dan Marino only get one, not even win a Super Bowl? The results of the league make absolutely no sense if it was rigged. That's not true. 10 years ago, everybody loved Aaron Rodgers. That's factually incorrect. 5 years ago, everybody beloved Aaron Rodgers, especially the media. That the NFL can control is their media. And boy, oh boy, did they push Aaron as the face of their league until Mahomes showed up. Also, how come the player who was the most dominant player of this league's in the entirety of this league in Tom Brady, can you tell me what years he was the face of the league? None. Not a single time. Why would they have let a player they disliked in Tom Brady, a team they actively made rules to try to stop from winning in the Patriots, why would they choose them to be the team that does this? It gets the 20-year dynasty. Why would they be selected? The league actively hated the Patriots. You know, Tom Brady's Deflategate should have only been, Tom Brady had never been in trouble, but they suspended him for 4 games for an equipment violation. Do you know that should have been a $10,000 fine for a first-time offender? But to stop the Patriots from being good, they threw a 4-game suspension at Tom for some fucking reason and didn't even investigate when Aaron Rodgers said, and I quote, "Yeah, I break the rules all the time. I ask for my football to be overinflated. It's not that big a deal." And nobody looked into it. I'm telling you, dude, if the league was rigged, the results of the league wouldn't be happening the way that they are. Like the oddity of like the Jets not having a Super Bowl win since the 1960s, and half of the NFL people who run the NFL played on the Jets. Why are the Jets so bad? But listen, I know you don't understand this, but like the majority of the people that work for the NFL and for the NFL media all played for the Jets. Like a lot of them did. How come the Jets have nothing since the 1960s, dog? They're like the worst franchise they're worse than the Lions since the 60s. Why does that happen? Why? Also, tell me this. Why the fuck would any of these teams agree to just be dog shit the way that they have been? The Lions have been around since the NFL is basically formed. And they've just sort of agreed since 1950 to never win anything. In fact, they've agreed to be the worst fucking team in all the land. Happily. To become the joke of the NFL. They agreed to do that. That sounds stupid. These are hyper-competitive billionaires that own these teams. No, why would you throw it? Or why would, no. They've explained why they ran the ball or threw the ball 1,000,000 times. The Patriots were set up to play the fucking run. Dog. Then why are they rigging it in a way that people don't like? Do you think people enjoyed the Patriots winning every single year and dominating the entire AFC for 20 straight years, dude? Do you think anybody enjoyed that? Do you think any of the other AFC East fans enjoyed? No, they hate. That was misery for the NFL for a while. What the fuck would they allow that? They were the Patriots had a lot of, they muffed the punt kickoff. Ooh, that was bad by the 49ers. They get it at the 12. They almost lost the kickoff. Dude, trust me, Peyton Manning wouldn't have a 13-12 record in the playoffs. Peyton Manning and Tom Brady would have different careers. Peyton Manning would have 7 or 8 Super Bowls if the league was rigged. Why doesn't Aaron? Why wouldn't they use the pieces that were meant to be big players in the NFL and big pieces in the NFL? Like a Manning, like a Rodgers, like a Roethlisberger. Why the fuck did they go with Brady, dude? Can you explain that? A very unathletic dude from Michigan? Dog, the things you're saying don't make sense because it's no league would do this. The way that they hyped up Aaron Rodgers in the media, which they do control, they control the narrative around their league. That's all they can control because they loved Aaron Rodgers. And if they could have, they would have rigged it for him to win 8 Super Bowls, dog. I don't think you understand how much the league liked Aaron Rodgers and how much they didn't like the Patriots. Why would they rig it in the way that they did? You haven't given me a single good answer for why Peyton won 2 Super Bowls without. Now, he only has 2 Super Bowls, right? What is he, 2-4 in the Super Bowl? 2-3? That's pretty bad for Peyton Manning. 2-4? Yeah, 2-4. They want Peyton. Why would Peyton Manning be 2-4 in the Super Bowl, dog? Why haven't the Dallas Cowboys won anything since the 90s? If it's rigged. Jerry Jones has if the NFL is rigged, Jerry Jones plays a major part in rigging it. How come he hasn't let a single one of his teams win since the 90s? Not even go to the NFC Championship game, mind you. He's just fine with being a loser? No, he's not. Fuck out of here, dude. That rigged stuff. First and 10 to the 31. If they were rigging it, they're doing a weird job of it, and they're not doing the things that make the most sense for a game to be rigged. Just because things happen that you don't like happen doesn't mean the game is rigged. At least you're not saying it's because you're betting. Oh, man, I'd have lost it on you. At least you're like, man, that interception was fucking horse shit. It's like, all right, yeah, fair enough. I also think that helmet catch against the Patriots by Victor Cruz wasn't a catch. But I ain't going to call the league rigged because they let that catch remain somehow. No fucking forward progress on Eli. Wrapped him up 4 times. Whatever. Fucking biggest horse shit call of my life. You want to know the most evidence that there is that the NFL ever rigged a game? And you're not going to like who the evidence is for. Or who the evidence goes in favor of. And not even Patriots fans would say the NFL is rigged when the NFL probably colluded with the Eagles to beat us in that Super Bowl. And they only won by like 6-7 points. We should have won that fucking game. Whatever, though. There were 2 sets of rules being utilized in that football game. Do you guys know the lore behind that event? About what happened? So, there was a controversial touchdown catch. I don't remember who caught it. I know Nick Foles threw it, and it put the Eagles ahead, and ultimately would probably serve as like the game-winning touchdown. We can just say that. But it put the Eagles ahead, gave them a 7-point lead, and kind of I don't remember who caught it. It was not a great catch. However, because like at the time the rules were something like you can't bobble the ball and like it's like the old weird what is a catch, what isn't, right? They hadn't changed the rules. Like the rules that should have been an incomplete catch. You probably remember some kind of controversy about the call, right? Third and 13 after a no gain on the play. Or well, Purdy got sacked, sorry. 3rd and 13. So there was a catch that was very controversial, right? No big deal. Whatever. Sometimes they miss them. Now, the real controversy in this situation comes during the offseason, where you have a former Philadelphia Eagle, member of the 2005 team that lost to the New England Patriots, now like head of officiating, head of rules and stuff like that in the NFL, Troy Vincent, talked about the new catch rule that was coming out, right? About like they changed the catch rule into I think what it is today. I believe it's the current iteration of what is a catch. 3rd and 13, Purdy throws and it's well short. It'll be 4th and 13. They'll probably have to punt this. So the new catch rule comes out in like 2019 after the 2018, 2019 after the Super Bowl. And so the way that they do this is Troy Vincent basically outright says that like under this new rule, this would be a catch. And do you want to know what example he used? The catch by the guy in the Super Bowl. As an example of something that would not have been a catch under the old rule, but is now a catch under the new rule. What does that tell you about how that Super Bowl was officiated? Take your time. Oh, what a return for Seattle. They're out to about the 36 yard line. That's a nice return. 1st and 10 for Seattle at about just shy of the 40. So think about this. It's like, the rumor is here that the referees shouldn't have called that a good catch in that game. That was called a touchdown because per the way Troy Vincent worded it, under the old rules, that shouldn't have been, that's not a touchdown catch. Again, he's using the example from the Super Bowl, the controversial call that was called a touchdown for some reason when it shouldn't have been. Per Troy Vincent and all the other officials. That shouldn't have been a touchdown with the old rules. Under the new rules, it is a touchdown catch. What does that tell you about the way that game was officiated? The rumor or the belief here is that Troy Vincent told or let it kind of, because he has connection to the referees during games. Not a lot of people know that. He can talk to them. I believe he's the guy who calls down from the field to make changes and shit like that. So I believe his call was to call it a catch. He's like very involved in that being a catch. So the rumor or the conspiracy is that the referees were told to call that a touchdown catch based on the new rules, not the old ones. And that's why the touchdown, like, they shouldn't have counted per Troy. Like, that shouldn't have been a good catch, one, but, you know, sometimes it happens. But then to go around to use that exact catch as the example of not a catch, now a catch. It's like, oh, so they're like not hiding what they did in the Super Bowl. They use different rules to let the Eagles have that touchdown reception. Isn't that a little suspicious to you? Maybe a little bit. Now, is that why we lost the game? Or is it because we let Nick Foles throw for like 500 yards on us? You be the judge. I personally think it's a little bit of the latter, but maybe if we hadn't let him thrown for 4 other touchdowns, that one wouldn't have mattered. And again, that's why I always like when people say like the officials lost them the game, because they like ignore all the other context of like, but yeah, didn't you let Nick Foles throw for 500 yards? Yeah, but that's that one touchdown that would have changed everything. It's like, or they would have just scored on the next play, you fucking conspiracy losers. I don't know. I hate when people blame the refs. It's like, yeah, just let's ignore the 500 yards of offense and 5 other touchdowns they scored that day. Let's just focus in on that one. That's a little suspicious. Let's ignore all the good calls that went our way in that game too. And focus on this one bad call. That's why we lost. I mean, it wasn't like, it'd be like if the Falcons tried to blame some penalties for us coming back. It's like, nah, we can't even do it. That's why I respect Falcons fans quite a bit. They've never tried to make a single excuse about that game. It's just, yeah, we lost that one. That was embarrassing as shit. That was it. No, the league doesn't care how someone's career plays out. Sure, I'm sure they would have liked it if Peyton had a great, and he did have a great career. He's like the 3rd greatest quarterback of all time. Like, I don't think the league has much care about if a player, like, they probably want everybody to be good because that's better for them. But I don't think they care if it's like player A, B, or C that does it. Now, their media does. Their media cares deeply about who becomes like a mega face of the league. And that's something the NFL will script and rig. 100%. Because we went Peyton, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady for one whole season in Tampa Bay, and then Mahomes as the faces of the league. In my life. And that'll be a run on 1st down, 2nd down, and 8 to the San Fran 40. What a run. Sorry to diatribe there. I went on a long rant. Mostly to say I just don't find the league to be rigged. Again, if there was some evidence, cool. Otherwise, I also feel like somebody would have exposed it by now. And there was that one guy who got cut by the Cowboys because he had a problem where he couldn't stop smoking weed. And it's like, I don't know if I believe that guy. Sounds like he was just really pissed off that he got cut for the weed problem. Like, even if you watch the video, it's like, yeah, I don't know. This guy just sounds really sour grapes right now. Like, that's the only time I've ever seen someone claim the league is rigged. Because if I was like a bad player and I was getting clowned on, like if I was Kurt Ben-Kurt, right, and I got scorned out of the league basically like he did, I'd have exposed that shit as fake. Or who else got like, oh, you know what? If I was Josh Rosen, you know how quickly I would have exposed the league as fake? I mean, like, I'm not bad at quarterback. That whole fucking thing is fake, dude. He doesn't even play sports anymore. He's like a businessman now. So it's like, why hasn't any of these people who got like embarrassed out of the league exposed it yet? Everyone caught talking shit. You sucked. It's like, that's not even real, dog. It's fake. But again, it's also like, how credible would those people be if they claim that shit, you know? So, very sour grapes. Like the WWE, for example, right? The number one goal of that entire industry should have always been to keep it quiet that it's rigged. They couldn't do that. That shit got exposed 5 years after it started. You know what I mean? The second that shit went on television, it was like, oh yeah, this is fake as shit, and it was very quickly exposed by people who were like tired of getting shit talked. Because again, if it just happens that you kind of sucked, it's like, nah, yeah, that sucks. But if it's like fake and someone's going around telling you suck at everything and it's like you're terrible, this, that, and the other, and you know it's fake, how long are you going to put up with that before you're like, listen, that whole thing isn't real? Or again, somebody gets scorned and comes forward with very credible evidence, like they do again, like they did with wrestling. You know. Again, if that happens, I'll say I'm wrong. I'll eat crow. I'll be like, no, damn, well, they got me. And I'll still watch because I don't really care if it's scripted. I bet this is some of the greatest scripted TV I've ever seen, even though it's really not. Even though, to be fair to me, it's been pretty good to be a Patriots fan my whole life. It seems like the NFL is kind of like set up to be a Patriots fan. I'll be honest. They even gave us a fake 5 years of hard times. You know what's funny about Darnold? He somehow has the reddest hair of any quarterback except Andy Dalton ever. Because in every picture of Sam Darnold, he just stands out because of the red hair, and it's very funny. And it just doesn't ever look brown in pictures. That's one of the bigger problems, too. Like, a lot of guys got red hair or like a redder hair, but like the picturing and the lighting makes it kind of look auburny brown in pictures. Not Sam Darnold. I believe that was a third down play, too. I think that'll be 4th and 7 coming up. Damn, no one said a word for a while now. Anybody still there? Or are we going to probably start wrapping up? Well, like I said, I'll do the third quarter, but I don't know if I'm going to do the fourth quarter. Hopefully it kind of picks back up here. I don't think anybody said anything since like the beginning of halftime. So I'm about out. It's a very fun hangout for me. Didn't really pick up like I hoped it would. That's all right. I don't mind heading out early. Dun, 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 dun. Bleh. Goddamn commercials, dude. Nothing worse, really. Yeah, very exciting. I'm glad everyone's just sitting there. I'll just wait for the game to come back on because I'm not about to just talk for no reason. Nice. I'd respond, but Kevin, you typically don't actually say anything back when I talk to you. But yeah, I thought so too. I thought there'd be more points scored. 6:47 to go here in the third. I appreciate you for typing something though, Kevin. Everyone else is not, so a very boring stream. I just talked for like 30 straight minutes and no one said a single word. No, it's all good. It's not like I've been talking about shit for 30 straight minutes. Don't worry, I'm getting out of here after this quarter ends, so it's not a big deal. We just got to get through it. Well, they didn't show the first down play. 2nd down and 7. They were too busy re-showing Robert Salah getting really excited about a play. Not really sure why the fuck we had to watch that instead of the play. But okay. 2nd and 7. 3rd and 2. Completion to McCaffrey. I may end up just dipping out after this drive, actually, depending on how long it takes. I don't really want to stream anymore today. Dun, 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 dun. All the juice just got took out of me because of like the complete weird silence that just happened. Ugh. Just watch this game by myself without wasting my time. That'll be a 4th and 1. Hopefully they punt it so I can get going here. And they do. All right, I'm wrapping up, everyone. Y'all have a great rest of the night. Appreciate you guys hanging out. For those who did, appreciate those who kind of talked in this stream. It was fun. Have a great rest of the night. I'll see y'all tomorrow for the Patriots game. Toodaloo.